I got a job as a Manny in college.
No way.
Yeah, I sometimes forget about this. So my dad had died when I was 16. My mom was already gone from our family. It's just me and my two brothers from 16 on, right? And
How old are they again?
I have a twin who's a fraternal twin.
Right.
He's also the same age, 50 now. At the time,
that
we're all
works,
16. He was like 13. My younger brother's like 13, almost 14. And I end up having to live with my grandmother after I graduate. And I can't find a fucking job. I legit apply for like over 20 jobs, and every one of them, fucking back then, record and tape traders, like all of them, no. So I decide I'm going to donate sperm for some cash, because if there's one thing I can do, I could jerk off all fucking
All day, bro.
no problem. And my grandmother is an older Catholic lady who's giving me shit like, they're still your kids. I'm like, they are, but. So I investigate this, and I learned that, and I didn't know this, I learned that you're only allowed to basically deposit 2 times in a certain mile radius. Because although it's not probable, it is possible that those 2 beings could get together and unknowingly be incestuous. Right? So I'm like, well, there goes that fucking job. You know, 2, and I got to travel the country to do this shit. I'm only getting 100 jerks.
Sickler just flying back and forth every couple of days.
Losing money.
What are you doing? I got to go jerk off in California.
All scabbed up and shit. Like, come on, man. So I see that I go to this like temp agency, and they contact me, tell me there's a family who's looking for someone for their son, like a big brother thing, and they want someone to influence them. And I was like, great, let me go meet them. So I meet the family, and they're like, we think you'd be perfect. So I have to go after school every day. I pick him up at school. I'm in the line with all the moms and shit in my car, and I pick him up. I take him to his house, and we do homework and shit together. And I'm a kid. I was a boy. He's got his comic book inside his math book, and I'm making mac and cheese and shit for him, and I see it, but I don't say a word. And now it's time for me to check that homework and us to go outside to good stuff, and he doesn't have it done. And I'm like, well, that's because you were reading your comic book. He's like, you saw that? I'm like, yeah, I saw that. You're not good at this. Like, you suck.
Fucking dummy. Yeah.
I teach his sister how to drive a stick. We all go out, and I teach her how to drive a stick. I start taking over everything. And then I'm about to go on vacation with them. They wanted me to come to Florida to watch the kids while they hung out like the husband and wife. And then my grandmother dies, and I'm like, look, man, it's a wrap on this Manny shit. I'm headed to California, and that's when I finally split for that.
You're a good.
I was good at it.
Yeah. You got a good.
I can grill. You know?
So how old were you at that point?
That's the first thing they ask when you apply.
Cook some dinner out there. If your kid wants snacks and grill, I fucking got that kid covered. You want me to teach your daughter how to drive a stick shift? No fucking problem.
How old were you?
I was probably like 20 in college, 19, 20.
See, it's funny because I would, much like the coaches of the team, 20-year-old kid comes to me and says, I want to be your Manny. And I say, get the fuck out of my house. But I didn't. But you,
They requested a male and said, why don't you meet this dude?
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know about this shit. Yeah. But I was a Manny.
I would say there's probably one Sickler for every 100 weirdos trying to be a Manny. You know what I mean?
I would never. Listen, I did the job. I would never. I wouldn't have rolled the dice on me either. I'd be like, fuck that kid. Fuck that kid.
That's just, it is. It's just, welcome our new kindergarten teacher, Mr. blah, blah, blah. Nope, I don't want to see it, man.
But also,
fucking weird.
Here's the other thing, and it just hits me right now, actually. What does it say, as a wife, what does it say that you feel about your husband that you think you need a male presence around this kid?
Yeah, it's not great.
Is he not cutting a fucking mustard
I can't
over
feel
on this, right?
Yeah.
I just thought of that.
We need a strong male figure in this kid's life.
Hold on a minute.
What about
this 20-year-old asshole?
Yo, if
this community college dickhead right here.
He pauses below deck. He's like, what the fuck did you just say?
Some 20-year-old walks in my house being like, I'm going to teach your kids. Holy shit.
And I was good. I legit was really good at it, though. And I liked it.
Yeah.
She's like, here's $50. Go to the arcade today after. I'm like, fuck yeah. We drive to I'd have his sister drive us to the arcade, drop us off, then have her come pick us up. Back when you had to get on a payphone. Remember that shit?
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm going to call you. I need you to be wherever that phone is on the wall. You know what I mean? You got to be there to get
My favorite we talk about all the time was when you call collect, and in the time you're supposed to say your name, you just say where you are or whatever.
That's what I would do to my. I did that on my album.
That's
Where's the roller rink? We're done.
Greatest commercial of all time. Bob, baby, it's a boy.
One of the all-time greats. That shit was awesome.
It is crazy what parents will do to not hang out with their kids. Like the people you trust with your kids.
I see it so much,
and it's like, dude, you shouldn't ever let this. Like I was a camp counselor. I wasn't a Manny, but I was a camp counselor. I was at many a camp. I did like hockey camps when I was younger. Probably when I was 20, I was just doing like park camps. And like I was like, dude, I'm hungover and not that I don't care about your kid. I actively dislike him. I root for his failures every single day, 9 to 5.
Bro,
I'm hoping this kid falls.
How much I see it. Since I have limited time with my kids because of the divorce, I'm like, when I have my kids, I'm like with my kids. Like we're at the park, we're playing. Even if we're watching TV, it's like we're watching it together. We're playing video games, we're playing it together. And the amount, mostly dads, but in general, moms too, the amount of people who are just buried in their phone or just like, whatever, go away, leave me alone. And then they look at me like I'm the weirdo because I'm like playing with my kids. So I probably look like one of these people I'm making fun of. We're like, what are you, grown adult jumping on the fucking jungle gym with them? But it's like I'm trying to
creating
like,
core memories so my kid fucking loves me and doesn't hate me like your kid's going to. Right. If I'll get a bounce house instead of therapy in 20 years.
Yeah. Crazy though, man. I mean, like I'll watch. I'm watching a kid like fall off the thing, and his dad is just fucking buried.
Dude,
I'm like, yo, kid's bleeding, dude. I mean, it's nuts.
We've talked about that before with phones, and I always like what your parents did was inherently lame. Like read the paper comes to mind, or I kind of liked my parents. I'm one of those weirdos who. I don't know. They played with me, so like I didn't really think it was lame, but just like that is the stereotype of like the old man with the paper, and you're like as a kid, you're like I'm not fucking reading the paper, or like the music they listen to, like I'm not listening to that. I wonder if kids look at phones and they're like, I'm not doing that. It's like that's so fucking weird.
I can tell you.
Like,
I mean,
that's what old people do. I don't do that.
Right? They want one, right?
Yeah, she wants one. Because all it takes is one fucking asshole parent to give their kid a phone in the first fucking grade, and then everybody wants one. I'm like, what do you need a phone for?
Yeah. My daughter's asking me for
but it's not a phone to them anymore.
Gizmodo watch or whatever.
Yeah,
it's like a watch that connects to your phone or whatever. So I thought it was just a watch. So I was like, I can get you some sort of watch. And then I realized it's a phone. I can't do that because I don't want to be the asshole who sets it in motion.
I'm thinking the power a parent has, who's going to be the first one to over the wall at the war.
Yeah,
it's like you can change the trajectory of this city, of this small town. You can change. You have that power in your hands.
Yeah.
My daughter has to walk to middle school because it's like 2 blocks away.
Yeah.
So I feel like 6th grade is a good time to get her a phone where she can text and communicate.
Sounds about right.
Not get on fucking apps. Not get on social media.
Communication I don't mind. Like that I could even start early because to be honest, it is.
But I'm like, let's just get walkie talkies. It's right there. It's right there. I'm teaching her over. I'm like, you gotta hold that button and let go.
Well, you can do the milk cards with a string if you get it long enough. We're fine.